So before the internet, when you needed to find out what bands were playing where, you found the local alternative weekly newspaper. It was given away free. It had every bar and every music venue's ad, reviews, cultural articles, you know, all the doings on in the arts and music community around each respective town. Cleveland, the most long-standing and still published alternative weekly, was Scene Magazine. We're going to take a look at the May 23rd, 1991 issue. So Hall & Oates graced the cover. Local faves, Pere Ubu, get a cover mention. You'll see more inside on everybody here, obviously. Dred Zeppelin, Queensryche, Kurt Russell. Rear cover features a ad for a Young Ones related film, Drop Dead Fred, Phoebe Cates and Rick Mayall. So we give credit where credit's due. Mr. Marc Cohn. Madonna. Thelma and Louise, guys, wear a cup. Raj with the great headline. Raj reviewed films for Scene for another site for years and years and years. There should be a book compiling all his reviews. So Ohio is famous not only for being the home of rock and roll, as evidenced by the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame being here, but we had three killer amusement parks in the state. Kings Island down near Cincinnati, Cedar Point, and Jog Lake. So there's a roller coaster article. Here's an event I attended. Craig Van Wagner, Jim DeLange, a bunch of people. National Rib Cookoff. They'd change names, Burn Off, Cook Off, all kinds of things. We saw the Neville Brothers and Marc Cohn. Here's all the bands that were performing. I think Marc was an unannounced performer, and most, including myself, had not heard his music up to that point. At least that certainly changed quickly. Here we got some Cleveland musical history. Mr. Robert Jr. Lockwood. Woods Rock, Ohio, 91. Headlined by Foghat. That should elicit some memories for 8 or 9 people. Guns N' Roses, GNR Man. The Swing Lizards, Joe Bell. Here's an article about reviewing the Undercurrents event that had recently happened in Cleveland. John Latimer was pretty much the energy behind that. It was a yearly showcase in the late 80s, early 90s for Cleveland talent. Who we got here? Mr. Sensible, Hostile Amish, and bands that are like over the Rhine. They're from Cincinnati. And making the scene was always like the local stuff. So you got a little bit here on Hanson the movie, and the Walk-Ins, and Pere Ubu. April Fools, maybe that'll bring some memories for folks. The ads here are pretty darn good. At the Agora, you got Max Creek, a regional jam band, and Curve West. Doors, Robbie Krieger. Then Babylon A Go-Go, oh my goodness. Babes in Toyland, New Salem Witch Hunters. With the Ghoul. And we got Jeff Redding, Vid Mag, critics of the Real Rock Showcase. Pere Ubu, Goo Goo Dolls. Ronald Cole and the Junk Monkeys. And Empire. The aforementioned Marc Cohn doing a WMMS free coffee break concert. Robin Trower, Hanson the Movie, Frankie Starr, Gangsters of Blues, Indian Rope Burn, Aldo Nova. Played in a softball game with those guys. And Michael Stanley. John Mayoff, First Light, Buckwheat Zydeco, Throwing Muses, Meat Beat Manifesto. N.R.B.Q, we're coming to the Coliseum. JB's. Got some Frankie Starr going on. Jimmy Rogers. And here's what was coming to town. Man, Robert Palmer at the front row. Would have loved to see that. What a page this one is. My goodness. So you got an article about Tom Lash and Hot Tin Roof. An article about Pere Ubu. Got some great names in these two ads, huh? Colin Desant, the Sky Dogs, oh, Augie Doggy. Oh, sorry, Augie, not Doggy, obviously. I'm sure you've heard Augie Doggy before, though. Four Coyotes, Mondo Bizarro, Divinals, Dred Zeppelin, and Mojo Nixon. The Fantasy. Record Convention, stay away, stay away. Peabody's Cafe. Mr. Sensible, Ital, Robert Sata. First Light. Reggae, reggae, reggae. Hippies. Euclid Tavern, Robert's Mr. Stress, Armstrong Bearcat. Shovelheads. With Hucklehead. Lonesome Bones. J. Argy. Dred Zeppelin, there's more here than meets the eye. They were pretty good. Can't say I've listened to it in a long time, but they were decent, entertaining. Look at all these people we know. Armstrong Bearcat, Colin Desant, Frankie Starr, Kid Wicked. Centerfold spread. Scene magazine style. So the aforementioned Rib Fest. I mean, what great stuff. Hall Notes, B.B. King, Reggae Sunsplash, Rib Splash, I guess. See how much tickets were. Oh my God, what a ripoff. Oh, Charlie Musselwhite, Temptations, Four Tops. Neville Brothers. I shot video of that. That's up on YouTube. Article on Queensryche holding up a mirror to our culture. Ad for Peabody's Down Under, Billy Cobham, legendary drummer, First Light, Third Estate, Mark Whitfield, Loquetto, Gangsters Blues, Royal Crescent Mob, Fairweather, Pere Ubu, ad for one of their Mercury albums. They're on a major label. They'll buy ad space this big. Then an ad for a great series Rockline on MMS. Lucky enough to have spoken to Bob Dylan on that series. Here we got an article on the 1991 Tribe. Not doing too badly. They were 25 and 20 at this time. This issue. So started off the season on a positive note. Ad for a Touch of Italy, a little joint near where I grew up. Got Armstrong Bearcat, Blue Taxi, Big Daddy. The Gazette in Parma, Roberos, Progressive Dance Night. Aren't those the same thing? Albert Bell says, be a fan and have a ball. Totally alternative. Everything in stock now. Pere Ubu, Julian Cope, Consolidated 808 State, Primus, Elvis Costello, Fishbone. Alternative was the buzzword in 1989, obviously. Look at that. Alternative Revolution, Marc Cohn. Record Revolution at Coventry is not far from where Marc grew up in Shaker Heights. We got the reviews of recordings. You got a Billy Squier, Creatures of Habit soundtrack album. Mr. Big. And for Fagans. Pacto Nuevo, I used to see them. Ad for Seinfeld coming to town. Right in the early days of the series' success. He appeared at the Palace Theater. Alternative. Dred Zeppelin, Mojo Nixon, Simple Minds, Material Issue, Meat Beat Manifesto, Divinals. These were all Belkin productions. Look at, this is how you downloaded in the old days. Onto cassettes. It was more like MP3. Yeah, downloaded MP3s, and then you had your Walkman. Love those videos with the kids. Look, Joe Bell and the Swing Lizards. That other place was too cheap to pay for the Joe Bell type set. Alex Bevan. Aces and Eights. These are live reviews. Pat Benatar, of course, married a local guy, Neil Giraldo. Frank Morgan in Cedar. Walton down at Peabody's down under. And this must have been Hot Tin Roof Week. Here's a review with them opening up, playing with Ghosts in the Daylight and Gene Loves Jezebel at the Agora. Blossom ad coming up. Doobie Brothers, Amy Grant, Steve Winwood with Robert Cray. They were pushing these alternative shows. And we got the Nautica ad. Billy Squier, Styx, Elvis Costello, saw that show. Indigo Girl, saw that show. Southside Johnny. Guns N' Roses, Queensryche, Suicidal Tendencies. Megadeth, AC/DC. Obviously, this is the metal ad, not the alternative ad. So here we got a review of a Hawkwind and Sosumi show at the Empire. Yanni at Palace Theater was not there. And alternative weeklies were sort of like Tinder of their day. In the back, there were all these hookup ads. Women for Men. Chubby Chasers, where are you? Super large single white female. ... Men seek women, men seek men. They don't have women seeking women, so I guess that's under consenting adults. Those were always the most fun ones. Messages like, hey, I saw that girl with the pink sweater, blah, 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 call me. But hookup is the key word here. Concert tickets, position wanted, that might go into consenting adults. That's what help wanted. It goes both ways. Doesn't a lot of life. Auditions, where you find your bandmates and your equipment, where you find out where every show, who's playing at every bar, a short, concise thing. One click. One click. I mean one page turn. And kaboom, you got it all right in front of you. Instant, kids? Not really. Sorta, sometimes. Not really. Not real. You gonna be able to pick up that click in 30 years and do this? Nope. And the back cover of the May 23rd, 1991 scene. N.R.B.Q. I can't abbreviate Queens right, at least not quickly.